Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday stream. This is a second day in a row where I have a stream, so that's very cool. So, hope you're all doing well. The usual, just voice check if I see a bunch of people on stream already. So, if you can just confirm that my sound is audible, so it's not too quiet, too loud. I want to make sure that it's okay. Well, I'll have a coffee. Nobody chatty in the chat. Okay, well, I'll take that. It could be me. But in any case, welcome to the second stream of Darko's Terraform adventure. So yesterday, what was Wednesday, the 5th of August, 2020, we had a first stream where I basically stumbled through Terraform. And today, we want to continue that. So, just a bit of background. I am a developer advocate. I work for AWS. My name is Darko, and I'm a big fan of infrastructure as code, right? So I am a big proponent of it. I am a big advocate of it, and I know CloudFormation and I know CDK and SAM to an extent. So, but I've never worked with Terraform. So I know Terraform is a big popular framework out there that also, well, a lot of people use to deploy their infrastructure through code. But I only basically scratched the surface of it a long time ago when I attempted to play with it. So I figured, you know what? Why not? Why do not I go all in and try to figure out what is this Terraform thingy? So basically, through these streams, I'm going to be checking out what is Terraform, how does Terraform look like, how to best use it, and yeah, trying to maybe share some knowledge along with you. So this is not like a prepared stream. I don't have any talking points or any script to do. So it's a very raw stream. It's basically me trying to figure things out. And maybe once I do, I'll be more than happy to make a proper video explaining Terraform and my adventures with Terraform if you're looking for something more structured. But if you're fine with me just stumbling through documentation and writing some code, you are more than welcome to join me. So, before we start, I just want to have a look here. That's that. Perfect. So, what is the first thing we need to do? Well, we need to switch over to some screens, right? So let's have a look at some screens. Oh yeah, this right here is a GitHub repository that we've created yesterday, and that GitHub repo actually contains all the code we did yesterday. So what we will do is we will actually just review the things that were done yesterday and see what are we going to do on today. What are we going to expand on our Terraform thing? So let me open my terminal here. This is complex. Let me just move all these things. This should be fine. Let me zoom in. This should be okay, I guess. Perfect. So let's go to the directory. So I'm currently in this repository, and the same one, git status, I think I'm good. Nothing has, okay, cool. So let's go to episode 1 files. Episode 1 files. What do we have here? We have example tf and userdata.sh. So let's open up example tf. Okay, so here what we have done with this lovely thing. We have created an EC2 instance. So, okay, let me run down through this. This is where you define the provider. This is where you tell Terraform, hey, use this provider, use AWS as a provider, and basically provision in AWS. Use the region EU West, and also make sure to use the AWS CLI profile called default. So because you can, in essence, have multiple AWS profiles that can, well, basically deploy to different accounts and with different permission sets. Then here, let me just exit out of this. Perfect. Then here we have created our compute resource, or we have created our EC2 instance. How does this look like? So we define a resource. This is the resource type, AWS _instance. My Terraform instance. This is the logical name. This is the AMI. This is instance type. VPC security groups, subnets, associate public IP address. Oh, we've also passed some user data. So user data is this file here, yeah. So this user data is this file here, basically a shell script that executes on the initial server launch. So when we launch the server initially, this is the script that's going to be running. So pretty cool. So what this in essence does, it basically bootstraps the server, installs Apache to it, and we have a web server. So I believe last time we did this, we had a simple web server here. On top of this, we created VPCs, we created internet gateways, subnets, route tables, route table associations, security groups, and that's it. Okay, perfect. I think this seems pretty cool. Cool. Now, I think if I recall correctly, last time we did this, we've actually, let me move to like that, repos. This one, yes. So last time we did this, we actually deleted everything. So if we would do Terraform, does Terraform have a list? Oh. Let's see what Terraform has. It doesn't have a list. Output provider, refresh. What does Terraform have when it comes to apply, console, destroy, env, graph, import init, login, logout, output, plan? Okay, cool. So one of the things we need to do here, because if you see here, I've done some changes to my code here. I'm completely missing my my Terraform init files. So to get started with this again, I can do Terraform. You know what? Let's not do this here. Let's move to a second episode files. Let's do this. So okay, let me just reduce this a bit. Can I not do this? Oh, really? Okay, like that. MK the episode 02 files. Perfect. Now I'm here in episode 02 files. Let me just reduce this and so the episode 2 files. Excellent. To copy the stuff here, let's just use Ranger because it's simpler. Back, paste. Cool. So cd back episode 2 files. Okay, for episode 2, we're gonna be doing something more. We're gonna be adding more things on top of this. We will be, I don't know, what are we gonna do? We're gonna try to go, I think somebody mentioned last time about parameters. How can we do parameters or do more things with parameters? So I think that would be the best option here, so we can add some more flavor to our Terraform templates. Before any of the new things happen, we need to initialize our Terraform directory. So basically, because there's nothing here, if I do ls-a, there's no .terraform directory, so this is not initialized whatsoever. So if I do Terraform init, it's going to initialize the backend. It's going to download the plugin providers, everything we need for this project. Oh, we have more people on the stream. Welcome, everybody. The chat is very quiet. Did I do something wrong? Okay, we have done this. So now if I do ls-lla, I have .terraform. Perfect. So just to be consistent, let me deploy this. Terraform apply. So this will basically do the same thing. It will create an EC2 instance, it will create a VPC, it will do all those things, basically what we did last time. And we're gonna build on top of that. Cool. While this is happening, let's actually go to, I wanna also paste this link. So if anybody is missing this link, I'm gonna paste it here like that. Cool. That's the link to the GitHub repo if anybody's looking forward to having it. Cool. That and that. Perfect. So I want to figure out how to do parameters, right? How to do parameters and how to do stuff like that on Terraform. So Terraform variables. I think they're called variables. Input variables, yes. So input variables are the thing that we're going to be using basically in place of CloudFormation parameters. So it gives us a way to define certain parameters or variables we can pass on to our Terraform code that will make our templates more agnostic. We can apply different things and we can use them in different cases. For example, instead of hard coding an EC2 instance size like T3 micro, we can pass it on as a variable. So let's see how this works. Variable, okay. Declaring of input variable. So let's go to this one. I think maybe this one help more? AWS variables, perfect. Input variables. Provider, defining variables. Okay, let's create a file called variables.tf. I think that would be the best thing. Okay, so edit variables.tf. Cool. So let's do this actually. So how do they call it? The variable region. Is it like that? Oh, it's in region. And then let's define a value. It's gonna be the default value. Default is gonna be EU West 1. Perfect. So that's one variable, but also let's do one more variable, and let's call it instance size or type, right? Let's call it like that, and then the default will be T3 micro. Cool. Now, okay, that's fine. I can basically then get them from the .var. Okay, so now we have defined this variables.terraform file. Basically, this file enables us to pass on specific parameters during the execution of our template. So I just want to make sure one thing is fine. Okay, cool. So here's one thing. Let's actually then apply these variables to the Terraform file. So if I go back to here, then instead of region here, by specifying a region strictly like that, let's do var and then region, right? So by doing this, it's gonna look into the variables file and pull it out of that. Now, and for instance type, again, let's do the same. Let's do var dot instance type. Perfect. And I think this should work now. So if I would go back to here, okay, so I can confirm that this has been deployed. So let me just go on this side, EC2, grab a coffee. Yesterday I had some gin and tonic, and today I have coffee. So yeah, there we go. Different. I think I named this instance somehow. Oh, so much. Okay, TF web server. Okay, so this is the one. Just want to make sure that this actually works. Okay, cool. It's the same thing. Perfect. So let's Terraform validate. Yes, Terraform validate command basically validates your configuration, make sure that it's okay, that it's written okay. So if you're writing something in Terraform, you can always run the validate command just to make sure that the thing that you're executing is fine. So then Terraform apply. Now it's going to be creating all those things. Actually, it may not do anything because we have actually not made any changes. So if I go to my Terraform, how can we actually make the changes? Let's have a look. So one thing, nothing has changed. There was no change because the defaults are the ones that we currently use. So if I go to, actually, let's go to here and let's see how can we actually modify these things. Terraform, okay, so we can pass them on through the command line. I like this. I like this in Terraform because command line. So let's do this. Terraform apply, I can just do the following. Terraform apply -var, and then how does it look? Region, let's not do region, let's do instance type equals, let's do C5 large, why not? Let's not be frugal. C5 large, I think this should be fine. If I do this, instance type is not a assigned variable. What? Is it not? Instance type. Did I do it bad? What did I do? A variable instance was assigned to the command line, but the root module does not declare a variable of that name. To use this variable, add a variable block to the configuration. What? What did I do? Go big or go home, yeah. Why? Variables tf, variable. Did I mistype something? Assigning variables, if I do this, once again. Okay, something, let me, undeclared variable, instance type. If I do region, wait, am I mistyping something? Region, region equals US East 1. Undeclared variable, what? Oh! Save your files. Okay, I see why. No, not even quotes. So I've literally forgotten to save the file. So if you see here, there is no file name variables.tf. If I do again, oh, where did I save this file? It's in part 1. Variables, episode, no. MV variables, episode 2 files. Okay. Apologies. So cd episode 2 files, vim variables, and then edit, or actually open example tf. Perfect. Okay. Directories. They're hard. Okay. Once again, it's here. Perfect. Terraform, apply, var, this one. Go big or go home, right? Let's see if this works. Okay, it's refreshing its state. So what is going to happen here, it's going to replace the instance. Oh, is it not? Why? You should replace the instance. T3 micro. Default is T3 micro. Oh, oops. I have not saved this file. So let's instance type var instance type like that. And then again, the region, I guess I must not have saved this as well. var.region. I don't like my variable naming scheme. It could be better, but let's try. No, it's already initialized, so I don't think I have to do it. At least I hope not. No, I don't. Cool. So, cool. Let's have a look. What's going to happen here? So it's going to change. Okay, it's going to be an in-place update. So apparently we can change the instance sizes in place. That's very cool. So this is going to be the change. So if you can see here, the change is going to be this instance type is going to be from T3 micro to C5 large. And that's the only thing. So yes. Yes, let's see if this works. Okay, excellent. So it is modifying my instance. Now I wonder, is my IP gonna stay the same? So I have this IP address copied here, the old one. I wonder if that's gonna stay the same. So if I do here, it's most likely not gonna work because it's currently replacing the instance. I just wanna see how fast does this happen. So where is my TF web server? So it's still here. Oh, it has a different IP address. It has no elastic IP address, hence there is a different IP right now. So bear that in mind. And I think we're gonna fix that as we go along and we make this into like an auto scaling group or something like that. So, okay. It takes some time. It's modified instance. The instance is booting up right now, so it's currently initializing. So just to confirm that our instance has the proper user data file. So it's the same thing. That should be fine. It uses the same AMI. It has a public IP address. It is in the same. Yes, I need an elastic IP address if I wish to keep the elastic IP address constant, right? If I want to make sure that my instance is always having the same IP address, but in this case, that's something I would potentially like to have, but let's actually not worry about that too much as of now. because I plan to create like an auto scaling group with a load balancer in front. So then we are fine with IP addresses. So this is okay. Let me again try. Has this started working? Okay. We're gonna have to give it a moment because maybe the C5 instance takes a longer time to set up. Yeah, there's nothing happening still. So okay. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if this is possible. So CloudFormation gives you the ability to actually do things through a thing called Cloud Init or CFN Init. Basically, what happens is that it can report back to CloudFormation once everything is done. So what happened here with Terraform is that Terraform actually launched an instance. It received an OK from the API that the instance has been modified and completed. That's all good. But it doesn't really know has the instance set itself up, because if I just do this, the instance is currently initializing. That's fine, but like none of the OS parts or the software I've installed is not set up yet. So that is something we're still waiting for. So let's give it a minute for this to finish, because I want to make sure that this works before we continue on. And I'm probably going to change it back to T3 micro, so we are not too much. We're not spending too much money. let's call it that way. Still not working. Okay. In any case, while we wait for this, outputs. True. That's a fair point. How does Terraform do outputs? Output values. Okay. Let's see what this does. Declaring an... Okay, we can do this. Ah, perfect. So can this thing be in a separate file? I guess it can be in a separate file. So let's create some outputs. So CloudFormation has this thing when you create something through CloudFormation, it spits out an output. Like it can do things such as a URL, IP address. You have those things available. Now, Terraform apparently has the same thing. So let's do it. Let's do outputs.tf. That's one interesting thing about Terraform is that you can use multiple files with more ease. So that's pretty cool. So how do you do it? It's output, put instance IP, or actually pub. Okay. Instance pub IP, and then do it like that. And what will be the value? Value equals instance, no, AWS instance, dot, what is the name of our server? How did we call it? My Terraform instance. Okay. My Terraform instance dot public IP. I am assuming that is the output of this one. Can we also get those outputs somewhere? Okay. Let's hope this works. Just let me just refresh this. See if this is still not working. Wow, it takes so longer to do this, really? Or something is broken on my instance. The log has still not finished. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's change back to T3 micro. We've seen how variables work. So let's change this to T3 micro. Cool. Okay, yes. And I want to see what kind of outputs I get. Do I get any outputs? Okay, outputs. Oh, perfect. We see we have an output now generated called instance pub IP, and in essence, we can use this one now to see if this works. But yeah, it will probably take a while for this instance to be available. But let me actually try. Why not? Still nothing. Okay. Just to verify, allow HTTP is still from anywhere, right? And we're allowing HTTP from anywhere. Inbound rules. Yeah. Okay. This should, for all intents and purposes, work. But in essence, what we've done right now, we've reduced the size of the instance, and we've introduced outputs. So that's really cool. So what we have is now variables and outputs. This is cool. What else can we add? Let's add something more to our instance. I want to add a key. I want to be able to SSH into the instance, right? So I want to make sure to SSH into the instance if I want to troubleshoot something, right? What would be the best way to do this? Maybe we can do something even better. Let's find the instance, the resources thing. So if we find providers, major cloud, I guess, AWS. For some reason, the docs don't work very good on my laptop or on this thing here. Why don't you work? Is it my browser? Is it arbitrary? Maybe. So okay. What did we say? EC2, right? Let's see if I can. Instead of doing a key, maybe it would be better that instead of adding a key, I would add like a IAM policy. Attach an IAM policy to my instance so I can use it through Session Manager. Instance type. Let me just zoom in a bit so everybody here can see. So instance type, key name. I can also add a key. That would work. But a better approach would be maybe to use Systems Manager for this. IAM instance profile. Perfect. Launch instance with a specified profile. Ensure the credentials have a correct permissions. Notably, IAM pass role. But how does this one look? So if do I just use the IAM existing profile, or how about let's create a profile? Why not? Let's create a profile and attach a proper policy. So there is already an existing policy available on AWS for Systems Manager access. So let's do IAM role. Perfect. IAM role. Can I do argument reference, permission boundary? So okay, so we can create a role. We can create an example role. Basically just give a name and assume role policy. Okay, I think this would be fine. Basically what we can do is copy this thing here, and this should be sufficient. Let's do that. I like to put my IAM permissions on top. So IAM permissions. Paste. Okay, let's change these things. So instead of a role, let's call it EC2 SSM role. Let's call it TF SSM role. TF SSM role, like that. Okay, this should be fine. Tag key. I don't want to do some tags here. Nothing like that. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we are actually adding a role policy here without any. We're actually adding a role without any policy. We just make sure that the assume role policy does work. What are the things we have to do here? IAM policy attachment. Is that the thing? No. Force detach policy. Force detach policy specifies to force detaching any policy that roles has before deploying it. Let's set force detach policy because I think we have to do that for force detach policy. We need to do that before, because we want to attach an existing policy to this one. So set to true. Cool. And then one of the things we want to add here is use a different resource called IAM attach policy. Now this one has exclusive attachments of IAM policies across the entirety of this account. All the user's roles which in single account is attached must be declared with a single IAM policy attachment resource. This means even any user have attached policy. Oh, that's horrible. This is bad. No. I'm not gonna do this. Oh God, no. Wow, no. Role policy attachment. Is this better? I want to attach a policy. Role policy. Can I do a manage policy? Wait a second. Does this work? It doesn't work. I don't know why. We'll figure it out. So, how do we do this? Terraform, form, IAM, attach existing, or actually manage policy. Okay, IAM policy, read-only access, and then policy attachment, role policy attachment. Okay, I can just specify like this. All right, that's fine. So let's create a data. I think data is something, it's basically, interesting. Data is a variable, data source. What is data? Terraform data. Data sources, interesting. Data sources allow data to be fetched or computed for use elsewhere in Terraform configuration. Use of data sources allows the Terraform configuration to make use of information defined outside of Terraform or defined by another separate Terraform configuration. Interesting. Okay, let's use this. So let's do it like this. Data, I want an example here. I think this should work. Like that. I want to copy. Insert SSM EC2 policy, like that. Now I want to find my SSM EC2 policy somewhere. So there is an EC2 SSM policy attached to my account. EC2, or actually let's do it SSM. EC2 role for SSM. So this policy will give me permissions to basically manage a system through Systems Manager, and you'll see why that's important. Okay, cool. So we basically added this data here, and we're going to be using that data in attaching that policy to my role. So we created a role, and we want to do role policy attachment. I'll just do this, and thank you Stack Overflow. Basically, I'm not sure how people work without Stack Overflow, and all the people on Stack Overflow that that provide their services. So EC2 SSM role attachment. Okay, different syntax, right? AWS IAM role. This one is what's the role name? EC2 SSM role. Okay, I really need to I want to make this better. So SSM EC2 role managed SSM EC2 role manage role manage policy. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm using proper naming here because I'm using different types of namings. So EC2 SSM role. Okay, underscores everywhere. EC2 SSM role. That's fine. And then let's just use this. And AWS IAM policy. What is it called? What did we call it? SSM. Oh, what did I do? No. SSM. EC2 manage policy. This one, yes, perfect. No. Yeah, okay. SSM manage policy, perfect. I think this should work. So what we've done here is that we have actually defined in a data block which ARN are we going to be using later on. Then we've created a role that's going to be used with our EC2 instance. And then to that role, we've attached that policy. And this policy is a managed policy coming from AWS, and you should have this policy within your account. This basically, so there's a new one. We should use that one. That's fine. For today, it's okay. Or actually, let's do that one, just to be on the safe side, because this one is being deprecated. Interesting. I don't like things being deprecated. Okay, this one. So it's an easy change, like that, and then copy. I really need to understand how to use buffers. That's fine. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. How do we add this to an instance? I want to add the role to an instance. Go back. So instance type, instance. What did we say? IAM instance profile. That. So to add an instance profile, let's do it. IAM instance profile equals what did we call it? It's gonna be IAM AWS IAM under AWS underscore AWS IAM role dot how did we call this one? EC2 SSM role. Perfect. Okay, I think this should be okay. Let's try it out. So Terraform validate. Okay, unsupported format. Argument forced attach. Okay, that's one that we don't need. Forced attach policy. That's fine. I think now it should be okay. Perfect. So Terraform form apply. Let's pass this variable. Why not? Okay, there's gonna be some changes. I think it's gonna be attaching the VPC, the IAM role. So it's gonna create the IAM role and it's gonna attach it. Now I don't think it's gonna recreate the instance. Hopefully not, because you can attach it as an object with 13 attributes. String required. What string do we need? Specified as the name of the instance profile. Sure your credentials have the correct. Okay. If we do, how about we do the following? Dot name. See, not everything can be tested statically. Sometimes you have to test by deploying. So that was a discussion my friend Kobus and I had today about testing infrastructure as code. Is that not everything can really be tested by just by doing static tests, because sometimes you really need to do things such as deploy to see will it work or not. Okay, so what do we have here? A role will be created. That's fine. Policy attachment will be created, and the instance will be modified by adding this role. Perfect. Nothing else. Perfect. Yes. Yes. And then hopefully, once this is done, once we have this role attached to an instance, we're going to be able to manage or log into this instance using SSH, not SSH, using Systems Manager, Session Manager. It will make it much easier because I don't want to manage keys. Yes, exactly. It's basically deploy into prod and see if see how much people screen, right? Oh, Milos Kaurin, hi, hello. Fighting with Terraform, hate Terraform 0.11, complete lack of support for data structures beyond list of strings and map of string KV pairs. That's my friend and colleague Milos. He's actually writing on YouTube. So Milos, I've not worked with 0.11, so I don't really know how that one works. I see that there are differences with instance profile name, status code. Really, instance profile name? What? So I don't really know. I know that there's difference with the syntax, but I'm really not the biggest fan of the documentation here. So I have instance profile. Why don't you work? Let me try to open this one in a different tab. The documentation is very light. So when I create an instance role, is there an instance profile? There is no such thing as instance profile. So how does one do this? IAM role, instance role, name, path. How do you add a role to an instance? I hope you never have to use Terraform 11. Yeah, well, I hope so as well. Terraform. Also, Milosh, the chat is not appearing on stream from YouTube for some reason. So what can you do? So Terraform instance profile. How does one do that? Okay, so instance profile. Oh, there's an instance profile. Oh, interesting. Oh, so we have to create a separate instance profile? It's not just a role? I can't just attach a role? Interesting. Ah. Okay. So, okay. How does this work then? It's a group that doesn't, I don't want to. Policy, test policy, okay. And the policy attachment. No. Instance profile, sorry. Instance profile, and a role. Okay, okay. So I need to do something else. So, oh boy. Okay, resource, AWS, instance profile, AWS IAM instance profile, IAM instance profile. Okay, let's call it EC2 SSM instance profile. And just give it a name equals SSM role SSM profile. Okay, EC2 profile for SSM, and then the role, it's gonna be AWS role, IAM role, and then what is our role name? It's EC2 SSM role dot name. By the way, this should be split up into different files. I'm just using it all in this file just to make sure this works. So save, validate, just to make sure that I didn't break something. Terraform apply, and let's see if this will work. There's a problem with Terraform, at least that's something I've experienced while playing it around with it a while ago, that if you break something, you break it hard. Like, it doesn't roll back automatically. At least that's what I understand. So that can be a potential problem here. So we'll see how this works. Okay, still modifying that. I mean, this looks positive so far. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. So what do I want to do in this episode? So I want to make sure that we can do variables. I will move my permissions outside of the example file. So I'll create a separate file for instances, for networks, and I will create a separate file for permissions. And on top of that, what else can we do? What can we make this better? I mean, we can do the elastic load balancing, right? I think that would be. Why is this? I know. I made a mistake. So it's not this one. It's instance profile. It's AWS IAM. Instance profile was the name of the profile. EC2 SSM. Instance profile. Once more into the breach. So maybe I can play around with setting up load balancing. Would I be able to do that in this amount of time? Profile dot name. At least it has a CLI. So when doing this in CloudFormation, you would have to constantly jump between, you know, your code and the web console and trying things out. Will it work or not? So yeah, this is at least a bit faster. So separate file for variables, absolutely. Check the difference. Yeah. What is the difference between IAM and IAM role policy? You mean differences when it comes to the documentation? IAM role and IAM role policy. Is there a difference? Also, Middleship, this IAM policy attachment, that's a horrible thing. It detaches the policy from everything else. So, well, okay, IAM role. Okay, I've used IAM role here, right? And IAM role policy is... IAM role policy is just a policy. Is it? Okay. I didn't want to create a separate IAM policy and IAM role policy. Oh, I apologize. IAM policy. So this is just a policy being created. The role policy is a policy being created on a role, right? Or provides an IAM policy. Okay. Manage versus, okay, manage versus inline. Okay, I get it. Interesting. Okay, that's fun. Yeah, I think currently, okay, it works perfect. But what I've done here is that I've created basically, I'm using a manage policy, and I'm creating a role. This is one with the assume policy document, and I'm adding a role policy attachment, and then I'm adding an instance profile for that role. But yes, I have my variables in a separate file for sure. I want to keep some other things as well in separate files. So cool. Okay, this works now. So I can see that my instance now should have a different profile. If I refresh this, the instance profile should be somewhere set up. IAM role. Okay, here we go. The IAM role is set up here. Now, just want to make sure that this still doesn't work, because I really don't know why this thing doesn't work. Okay, my thing is I am doing everything as per pravila službe. Pope eso. Okay, I want to see why this doesn't work. This has failed to install my web server for some reason, or it has failed to install Apache. Let me just have a look if I can see the system log. Maybe something is has visibly failed. Or I can. Oh, I hate this trackpad. If I scroll down, Cloud init started. Looks all good. Interestingly enough, it's oh I know why. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because yes, we stopped the instance and we didn't start it. So here's the thing: we have a user data file that installs Apache, right? But it doesn't enable the service, so it just starts the service. It's not an enable thing. So one of the things we need to do here is service start and then paste and service enable. I think that's how you do it. Okay. Now, for the sake of being good here, right? Let's actually let's destroy everything. Why not? Not CDK. Oops. Terraform destroy. So I'm gonna just completely wipe everything because it will be easier. I'm gonna wipe everything and I'm gonna recreate the instance by itself, because this would not work right now if I would change the instance. Well, if I would change the instance in such a way that it would not replace the instance, the user data file would not be reapplied again. So what I'm doing right now is wiping everything. I'm gonna recreate it once again with a new VPC and well, with everything new basically. So all the things. And hopefully that should get us good. But those could be some famous last words, maybe. You don't know. Cool. And also all the code I'm doing here is going to be still available in the GitHub repository somewhere in the chat. I think it's still visible. Yes, it is. Cool. Cool. Once again, Terraform. What is it? Terraform apply. This is going to be T3 micro. I don't know why I'm using this variable, because it's already defined as a variable. So just to let's have a look at what is going to be created. There's a bunch of things going to be created right now. Oh boy, all the things. Instance profiles, roles, attachments, instance. That's fine. Internet gateways, VPCs, route tables, security groups, all the things. Yes, do it. Create it. Create it, please. Where did my chat go? Come back, chat. Come back. Ah. By the way, I posted a video of this, of our yesterday stream, already on YouTube, and there's been I think it's my most viewed video in this one day time. So people apparently like looking at Terraform, so I'm happy with that. Excellent. This has been set up. We have an instance IP here, and shall we be, bold enough to try it out like this immediately? Connection failed. Okay, it's not set up yet, but I think in a few minutes time it should be. Now it should work. Hey, there we go. It works. Hey, it works. There we go. Okay, cool. We have our instance set up. Perfect. That should be fine. Coolio. Okay, what did I say I want to do? I want to move these things in different files. So let's do some restructuring. Let's do v-edit. Can I do edit? No. V-split like that and edit a file. We're gonna call permissions tf. Cool. So I'm gonna actually go here and gonna copy a bunch of files, all the permission stuff, because I don't want to keep all these things in the same file. If I just X this out and paste it here, this should be good. Perfect. So I keep my permissions now in a separate file. Well, not just permissions. I want to move this. I need this here. Perfect. And then also I want to take networking. Let's edit network.tf. And I want to take networking and take it all there. I'm not going to do security group. I'm going to just do this. Shall I do security group? Yeah, I should. Why not? All that. Paste. Delete. Go. Perfect. If I select this and delete X. Excellent. So in our example.tf file, we should only have this EC2 instance here. And everything else should be sitting in different files. So let me just go here and oops. Is it X? Yes, X. Perfect. I want to edit this file again. Example TF. I think I may have to change the example TF, but that's fine. Oh yes, one thing I want to do. I want to make sure to manage the state file. So I don't want to keep the state file locally. I want to take the state file somewhere else. So if I do one thing, Terraform apply, will anything change? Database instance, duplicate instance things. Okay, permissions. Oh, I have it in permissions, really? Okay, now it should be fine. Again. So hey John Terry. Well, I don't have to run Terraform plan. So Terraform plan is as far as I know, Terraform plan is a great way to basically plan your output. So you can put your entire output in a plan file and then use that plan file to actually deploy this thing. So think of it as a change set, right? So I don't have to do it. By running Terraform apply, you automatically run Terraform plan as well before that. So reference to undeclared resources. Why doesn't this? Why? Yeah, it's like CDK sent. So well, yeah, to an extent. It's not just that. It creates it generates a change set. Basically, it generates the things that's going to be changed. So if you're going to be changing one thing, it generates just what's going to be changed. And the plan file is actually a binary file, so it's something that you cannot read. It's not a text file, so it's basically the things that Terraform is going to do. So yeah. Why is this not working? So security group is there a when doing Terraform, do I have to do multiple? Is there a specific way I need to sort my files? Terraform multiple TF files. Okay. Okay, let's do something here. I want to edit here. Edit WQ. MV. Let's move the example to main.tf. And vim main.tf. Now, the error I've received here is that it cannot find some of the things I referenced. So if I do Terraform validate, okay, and then Terraform apply. No. Okay. Okay, maybe I just have to call things the main.tf. I don't know if is that the case that I have to do main.tf. Okay, doesn't matter. It works now. Okay, nothing has been changed. That's perfectly fine. Excellent, excellent. So what I said, I really want to figure out how to manage the state file. So far, if you have a look here, the state file is locally, right? I've heard that the way people do this on Terraform is they actually put the state file somewhere in a bucket. So you need to have an S3 bucket, and then you can host that state file there. So that would be the better approach. So let's try to do that. Let's figure out Terraform state file. I've actually, I don't know where that book is. I had a book on Terraform, but it's an older book. But I had a book purely on Terraform, but I don't have it anymore. Was it an ebook or a physical book? It's a physical book. I think I've lent it to somebody. I've lent it to somebody, and yeah, I don't know. A long time ago. It was literally like 4 years ago. So import existing remote state. Let's see remote state. Where does remote state work? Terraform Cloud, HashiCorp, Amazon S3. Okay. Okay, we need to add a backend. Okay. Terraform backend. How do you configure a Terraform backend? Configuration. Okay, wait. Terraform backend S3. There must be an example. Backend type S3. Okay, perfect. Excellent. So we need to create a file. We need to create a file that's gonna be. Is it any special thing we can do? Let's call it backend.tf, right? Edit backend.tf. So let's create the bucket. I think I actually have a bucket for Terraform. I've once launched something to Terraform, but I have not used it in a while. So let's do EU West 1. Now this will not actually delete, or this will not create a bucket. It just tells it, hey, use a bucket for storing a state file. So if you're gonna be using the code that I apply here, make sure to change that thing. So TF, is there something? Yes, there's a state bucket here. Aha. Oh, it's been an hour. Wow. Okay, state bucket. Let's create a folder here, and let's call it TF Adventure. All right. So what is the bucket here? It's gonna be where is it? Dimesaro, Saro, TF state bucket. 01? 01, perfect. And the key is gonna be basically just TF adventure. Is that the case? TF adventure? Yes. I just want to make sure where this bucket is sitting at. What region is it in? How does one check which EU West? Okay. I think this bucket should be there, right? Management. Replication. All right. That's fine. Good. Actually, I want us to see this. So if I go S3 and then TF, like so. Wondering, does it say in which region it is? I think it's EU West. I create all my buckets in EU West, so that should be fine. All right, that's okay. Okay, okay. I think this should be okay. Now, do I have to do? I think. Let me do something. CDK, not CDK. Oh, Terraform destroy. Oh. 1 second. MV backend back. It looks for all Terraform files and it's confused by the backend file because it has not been initialized with that backend. So I'm actually gonna delete everything. Because yes, not yes. Also, I've been told that since of late, the later version of Terraform can do more things with Golang. So because it's built in Golang, a lot of things that it does you can actually access some Golang features like looping and logic within Terraform. So I think that's one of the things we're also going to be checking out as we go along. So for this episode, I think we're gonna be we're focusing only on specific Terraform features such as variables, outputs, multiple files, state files, and then on the next episode or next stream, we're going to be doing something more with AWS. We're going to be building out more things so we can learn how the syntax and how other resources look like, and then afterwards we can maybe advance into some more Golang logic as well. Cool. Now I just want to do Terraform like a MV back and then backend.tf. So Terraform init, with this help, initializing the backend. Excellent. Terraform will automatically do things on S3. Cool. If I remove tf state like that and Terraform tf state backup, if I do Terraform init once more, just to make sure that this is all set up. Okay. And Terraform apply once more. Let's see if this works. And now there should be no files saved locally. All the files should be kept up on S3. So this means that anybody can use the same S3 file, or actually same file, remotely. Now the problem here is that I don't think this is going to be using this is not going to by default be using DynamoDB, or is it? Data Terraform, remote state, backend S3. Oh, did I have to do it this way? Interesting. We'll see what happens. If I LL... Okay, no, my state has been set up on the top. So if I go here and I go to S3 and I should, if I go back to my bucket, I should be able to see something here. There are no objects under this path. Oh, interesting. Is there nothing here? Oh, TF. Okay, there it is. Okay, it's not in a folder, so it's a file called TF Adventure. Perfect. We have our state file up on the cloud, and our instance now should be functioning fine. I think. Let me just be bold and HTTP like that. Insert. Well, bam. Perfect. We've done this. Excellent. So what other things do we need to do? So let me just have a look at this backend configuration. So Terraform backend, where's this? S3. Terraform remote state. Through remote state, using the remote state. Okay. Multi-account, that would be interesting to do as well. Okay. So let me just go back here. I want to see what did we do. So we have a few things here. So we created the backend. So we've told Terraform to say, hey, instead of hosting the state file, which is the file that actually describes our state or what do we have deployed, we told it instead of hosting it locally on my laptop, host it in an S3 bucket. And we defined an S3 bucket right there. We moved everything out of our main file or our example TF file. We renamed it to main.tf, and we moved out the different things from this file to others. Namely, we moved the networking to a separate network.tf file, which contains all of our VPCs, security groups, and all those things. Outputs, this is something new. So in order for us to receive like a proper output or actually to see, for example, in this case, instance IP address, the IP address, public IP address of an instance we've created, instead of just going to EC2 and finding that instance, we can also tell Terraform, hey, once you're done deploying things, please print out the output value of that public IP address. So that's really cool. And these are our permissions. So we've also played with permissions. We've attached an instance policy, instance role, actually instance profile to our EC2 instance, so we can do things through Systems Manager, which I have not showed you yet. I'm actually going to show you that later on. User data, we've changed it a bit so that we've added a HTTP enable flag. So instead of just starting the server, it enables it as well. And the thing we've started with today is variables. So to give our instance a type of a kind of a more agnostic approach to things, instead of hard coding everything, we can use variables in the command line to say, hey, use a different instance size instead of just hard coding like T3 micro. So that is very cool. That is cool. Now, one more thing I want to check out. I really want to see if I've attached the proper profile. If I do SSM, go to Systems Manager, I want to see if this instance is being managed by Systems Manager. Now, Systems Manager is a tool for operations. I've talked about it a lot, but yes, it is managed here. So perfect. We can play with this instance through Systems Manager, and namely, we can run Sessions Manager. And Session Manager is a lovely little tool that enables us to connect to EC2 instances like this. Hopefully, wow, there we go. So we have SSH access or quasi SSH access to our EC2 instance through the power of Systems Manager. So there's on any Amazon Linux EC2 instance, there is a Systems Manager agent running on it. So as long as you give it permissions, you can use the agent, for example, for accessing it through SSH. So it's not using SSH, it's basically wrapping SSH kind traffic into HTTPS, and it's using the agent to communicate through in this case, it's doing it through the browser, but you can also use the CLI as well for this. So perfect. Now, if there was some issue with the service, if I do sudo service HTTPD status, I can see the status of my web server here as well. So enable, is this enabled? Yeah, it is. Okay. Perfect. Oh, systemctl. Okay. Sudo systemctl HTTPD enable. Or enable HTTPD. Perfect. So we need to change that in our script. One moment. Where is my user data thing? So systemctl enable HTTPD. Perfect. Cool. Excellent. So we've done something. I think this should be sufficient for now. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. So we've today, actually, let me just, before I go, I want to git add all, git commit, or actually go back one more, git status. I want to see where we are at. Git add all, git commit, episode 2 is done, right? Git push origin main. So what have we done today is we played with some more advanced features of Terraform, such as variables, outputs. We've used multiple files. We've modified our state file as well. And we kind of cleaned up how our code looks. So next time on episode 3 or stream number 3, what's going to happen next week, we're going to do more AWS stuff. So we're going to keep on building our application. We're going to be working on introducing autoscaling and load balancing, and actually making our application a bit more better than just a single EC2 instance running Apache. So make sure to join me next week, probably Tuesday. I think Tuesday is going to be the day where I have a look at this, where we continue to work on this. In any case, thank you very much for joining. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the session, and yeah, be on the lookout for the recording if you missed any of this. And if you just arrived to the stream, I apologize, but we have to end it now. So yeah, until next week, my name has been Darko. Bye bye.